Hey, you guys, we're back to Kingdom Creative Connected Collective, and today we're doing the YouTube video I told you I was going to do. I didn't do it at the end or as the follow-up video to the one that I mentioned it in because I came to the realization I wanted to really dig into this one. So because I wanted to dig in so much, I'm gonna make sure that this one is longer. This one might be like a half an hour because I want to really just talk to you guys about YouTube. Because where are we? On YouTube. So what we gonna talk about but YouTube? So, when it comes to YouTube, do you have a desired plan for YouTube? YouTube is a form of a search engine, but it's a search engine for video. Okay? If I'm not mistaken, Google and YouTube have now joined forces, and they work together to do a YouTube search engine and then your Google search engine. Because if you haven't noticed, you kind of have to sign in to YouTube with Google. So because of that, they are allotting everything to be search engine optimized with YouTube and Google. Notice you can easily, when you search something on Google, YouTube videos pop up. Ever notice that? So what you want to do is, if you're trying to actually develop something, you want to become search engine optimized. That, guess what? If you create a video concept here on YouTube, that it's going to be search engine optimized, that it'll pop up at the top of the list on YouTube. Because you're creating the proper titles. But maybe we're moving a little bit too fast for you guys. You guys are like, I'm just watching you and I like what you do. Maybe I don't want to do all that. I just want to start my own channel. Great. Kudos for you for making the decision that you want to start your own YouTube channel. Okay? But you need to have some basics in alignment so that your YouTube channel can thrive at the beginning. Number one, you want to recognize the fact that YouTube is a little bit janky because it gives you a 3-strike policy. So that means you have to be careful about using public use content, meaning I'm not talking about the public domain. I mean content like you went and looked at a music video or something like that, and you found clips or images that were from something that was already used. And if you don't have the copyright to use that footage, they can put a copyright strike because you either have too much of it. Because I remember I put a 30-second video clip of an advertisement that was from Instagram onto YouTube, and because it was the whole 30-second the advertisement, that YouTube put a strike on my channel. They said, we're not going to close your channel out, but we're going to take the audio off because this is the entire clip. And I was like, oh. Something else struck my channel. It was a different channel that had to do with a visual that I did where I used a lot of imagery from a music video. And it wasn't even the fact that I used, I didn't use the footage. I think I used either clips or I used photographs. I think if I used only photographs, I wouldn't have gotten dinged. But I got a copyright strike because of the way it was chopped together. And I didn't use, I cut it up. I did everything to make that thing look as least likely to the original. I put masks on it. I did everything. I did the most to that and still got a copyright strike. So you just gotta be careful. This is why you have to use stock footage and what they call it. It's not open domain. It's like pre-license something domain images whenever you create video footages. That's why I always will suggest to you go to something like a Pixel, because you can search video and download video clips. And those video clips can be used as parts of advertisements, parts of video content. You can speak over those. You can even create and generate your own memes, so on and so forth with that. Now, they won't copyright strike you for using a meme, because a meme is less than 30 seconds. It's probably a meme 9 times out of 10 is a gif that's about 3 to 5 seconds long. So they usually don't clip you because you used an actual celebrity or something like that for 3 seconds in your video, but your video is 30 minutes long. They're not going to clip you. I'll put a copyright strike against you. I'm even noticing that the algorithm is getting people that young woman was singing a popular song, but she sang too much of it. And when she sang too much of it, they gave her a copyright strike because she didn't know the lyrics to the song. Some people just petty. I mean, seriously. But when it comes down to that, just be careful when you have a YouTube channel, because you get 3 copyright strikes, they can shut your channel down and it can cause you problems. So be careful of that, because some of us, we like to come on here, we like to use clips, we like to be artistic, and sometimes our artisticness, if we don't change the content to a level and degree that YouTube feels is sufficient. This is why a lot of people couldn't use audios, because a lot of pages over on Instagram, they would create reels and it would have public music, meaning by an actual musician and or artist, and then they will pull it down over there on Instagram or pull it down over on TikTok and then drop it over here on YouTube because they wanted to use it as a short. And YouTube would not allow them to do that because the music they used was commercial use. So you have to be careful of those things when you're starting a YouTube channel. What else? You have to look at what is it that you want to create. Are you creating playlists of your videos? Creating playlists when you create a channel is so helpful to your viewer, so that if you're starting a content channel, they can easily find what they're searching for. Think about Pinterest. If Pinterest has pin boards, you should have playlists of content that is similar to itself. And because you can set up your back office to do at least 12 playlists, you can create up to 12 playlists that are different forms of content associated. Remember what I said about horizontal alignment? You want to make sure your playlists are like that. Doesn't mean that you can't have your own playlist over here that's completely whatever you want in there. But if you're going to have it as your public settings of playlists, and once the algorithm really figures out what it is that your content is about, they'll have a For You page or For You feed that will, when your watchers come onto the channel to start looking up video content, they'll be like, oh, okay, this is the content people like to watch. Let's put this at the top banner across the top. Okay. Next, you want to make sure your settings in the back office are set up properly. Because if your settings in your back office are set up properly, you got people coming in wanting to start some mess because they trolls and they see the content that you're talking about. Instagram used to do this a lot, where people would come in and just troll people's passages or pages. Follow back for follow. No. You want to go in. What they do on YouTube is they try to get you to pay into their orphanages, especially if you operate as a nonprofit ministry or anything in that capacity. You need to set up your channel that you can get rid of riffraff. So there's a section in the back end that allows you the ability to create a passage that is full of content that you don't want to be shown in your comment section. Meaning if somebody starts coming in acting like Boo Boo the Fool and starts talking about something that you don't want to taint your audience or community, you have the ability to go into the back end and block their ability to be seen. Whatever it is that they were talking about can't be seen. Next, you want to create levels of content. Remember, we already talked about branding. That branding still applies to this YouTube channel, okay? We went from Facebook and now we're talking to YouTube. So you can apply your branding, colors, strategy, so on and so forth. This is why I talk about jingles, because if you create a melody, find a melody or work with a melody, that this piece of melody audio, go to Epidemic Sound, find you a good audio clip. This is going to be what's going to be married to your channel, meaning if you're one that you like to use something like a CapCut and you know that your videos are only going to be like 10 minutes long, short little reels, what you want to do is you want to go to CapCut and you can get a audio that falls into the sound that will be your background sound that you can turn down in the background whenever you're doing your video. So people are listening to a constant beat that they constantly, this is what music does. It has its own metronome and you keep hearing that beat. It's just like when you keep hearing something 21 times, you get used to it. People keep coming back because they like the sound. This is why you think that's not why people use jingles in commercials. Every time you hear that jingle, what happened? Pick any commercial that you can think of. You could probably think of some type of beat, jingle, sound, so on and so forth. This is why you see when you have very popular products, they will partner with celebrities that do music to have them put their music on their commercial. You see how that works? So, which kind of falls in sponsorship territory. So think about what's the sound you want to create, because that sound is going to always be a reminder. I remember when I first started watching videos on YouTube on a regular, there was a YouTube influencer, hadn't really blown up yet, but she used to always use one tone of audio every time she did her videos. And she had divided her web series vlogs into seasons. She'd have 1 season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, but you would always remember her intro music. And then what she started doing is she would have intro music and exit music. Her and her partner would always put intro music at the beginning of her videos and exit music at the end of her videos, so it would be something that was usual to them, so that you will recognize every time oh, that's her video. Branding can be done in that format. See how that works? So you want to create and push out content. Now, you are not me. I can push out 15 videos in one day within a matter of a couple of hours. You are brand new. So I'm going to tell you to do what a lot of people do, which is try to make 1 video a week. Okay? For me, that's atrocious. I don't understand how to do that. I don't get it. I could probably make 45 videos in 1 week. Take 2 hours a day. Hit it. I'm done. I could probably make, let's see, if I calculated 15 videos at a time, I probably could make over 50 videos in 1 week. And if I pushed it hard, I could probably make like 75 in 1 week. For me. But that's me. That's me. That's not you. You're new. You're looking at this and you're saying, I just want to start. I think what you're doing is cool. So I want to try. Good for you. Do 1 video a week. Do 1 video a week. You think you can handle more than 1 video a week? Do 2. If you think that you can handle 3 videos a week, do 3. But if you're starting and then you're going to do a Facebook page because you want to promote your YouTube on your Facebook, or you want to do Pinterest pins and all of that, do 1 video a week. And then get your content together for that. That's going to be promoting this in other places. And then promote that in YouTube groups on Facebook. There's going to be enough work for you. You're going to be like, that's a lot. You don't operate like I operate. There are people that look at me and say, how do you do all of that quick? Because, I'll be honest with you. You want me to be honest with you? I be getting bored sometimes. I just be like, what can I do during this time frame? You know, one day there I sat for 5 hours and I recorded content, came up with 14 podcasts. One set. Had the house to myself. I was good. I was cool. While at the same time, earlier that morning, I recorded 14 videos. When you got time like that, you can do that. But some of y'all just want to start. And kudos to you for those people that want to just start. You need to get yourself a momentum. But if you got time and space to do that, if you're not working, if you don't have a household full of family members or something like that you have to be aware of to record content, because you do know YouTube has a blogging feature, right? That you can do a community, but I don't know if you have to have had your YouTube for a period of time or they allot that for people all across the board. Because when they beta tested community posts, I already had my channels for a long period of time, so I don't know whether I got it because of the fact that I'd had my channel for a long period of time, because I remember way back when that YouTube wouldn't let you, they don't let you monetize it until you've reached 1,000 people, and you can't create a membership until you've reached 1,000 people following your channel. This is an old channel that I'm revamping. So if you don't see 1,000 people following my channel, it's because I'm just revamping this channel. Okay. To y'all, it seems like a brand new channel. But to me, I've had this is my baby channel. This is the channel that I've had, God knows how long. I probably had this thing over 10 years. And I'm now just using it to this degree. So you have to figure out what you want to do. What is your priority? What do you want to develop? What are you promoting? Go back to the previous videos. What is it that you're putting your hands to? What is it that you found? Do you want to come on here, cook? Do you want to come on here and talk about your candle making process? Maybe you want to come on here and talk about music making process. Maybe you want to come on here, whatever it is that is your thing. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up with your title category, meaning the industry that you're working under. Then you're going to have subset categories. What are you talking about in that category? How many different subset categories do you feel like you want to talk about underneath of that? Then you're going to create playlists for each one of those subset categories. Now, what you're going to do when you do create content for those subset categories, what you're going to do is you're going to post the video in its proper playlist. Okay? But what you want to do is create consistency. You want to know how you create consistency? Listen to me. You create consistency by pre-recording a lot of your content and then scheduling it out. Same time, same days, every time. That's where your consistency is going to come in. That's where the algorithm is going to be like, this person posts content every day, and this person's content is always at this time. So I can know to promote this person's channel because their content is always this. You see how that works? So that's what you need to be thinking about. That's what you need to be developing. What does that look like? How are you creating it? How in the world are you developing it? Then you're creating your About Me. The About Me page, you want to create a nice lined up About Me section that you are talking about who you are, what it is that you do, why people should follow you, so on and so forth. If you have links in bio, connect to all your social medias. If you got a website, blog, the website for whatever it is that you're promoting, all of this stuff needs to be in alignment with itself, okay? Now, YouTube has a 72 character summary. You want to make sure that your summary fits that 72 characters, and that first line, which is going to be the first line of your about sentence. Think of it like a, resume. That's what they're going to see first. What does that look like? I want you to sit down and think about what that statement is going to be. Otherwise, I don't like ChatGPT, but if you can't think, they will come up with a very pretty 72 character summary of who you are for your first line. But what am I going to tell you? You know what I'm going to tell you? What am I going to tell you? I'm going to tell you, write your sentence yourself before you drop it into ChatGPT, because you know what you want ChatGPT to do, because you're probably going to write a sentence longer than 72 characters. ChatGPT will shorten it and make it short, sweet, and to the point so that 72 characters meets the limit that it will be shown in that one line. You see how that works? Now, you can create a social media feed where you put 12 posts in this social media feed, okay? Now, you want to have a LinkedIn bio or Tube bio link for your social media accounts. You can put about 12 in there, and they will be linked to the links of the amount that you can add in there. Good tip, if you're going to put an email in any of your links, don't let it be the link to the actual account that you, the YouTube that is attached to the YouTube email that's attached to your YouTube. It will prevent people from trying to do anything cyber-wise, if you get my drift. Use a different email. Go into your settings, set up your links, do what you have to do. Set certain things to auto default. Number one, you want to put auto default for chapters. If you're anybody like me, I am so shocked at myself that these videos have been less than 10 minutes. But this is the only one that I'm allowing to be longer than 10 minutes because I wanted to really dig into the content. You're going to want to put chapters in there, and you can auto set up your system for chapters in the back end office, okay? Now, we already talked about the blocked words and the fact that you will be able to line certain things up to prevent any type of confusion. Now, I just found out about this the other day, and I wanted to look into it. So I checked it out. Look up Opus AI. For my people that like to make an hour long to an hour and a half long teaching video, you want to go to Opus Clip and you want to check out their trial. It's actually called Opus AI is the one that I used. And when you go into Opus AI, when you check that, you'll be able to go in and do a trial for 7 days where you will have the ability to clip up to 90 minutes of video for me that I do these 33-minute videos or 54-minute, 57-minute. I could take both of those, and I did do that and ended up getting, how many videos did I get? 47 between the two video contents. So you can then repurpose that content as shorts. So guess what you're going to be seeing on this channel? Repurposed shorts from some video footage you haven't seen yet. You got a topic that you can sit and dig in for an hour and a half? Have at it. Have fun and do shorts. You can divide your chapters in a long video, but if you want to do a bunch of short content, there you go. Now, you can do an end screen. When you have developed a lot of content, you can put end screens on your content where they will be able to pick out the best footage and they will suggest that in your next video. I sometimes be forgetting to put that up there like that because I don't be thinking about it, and a lot of times when I'm posting stuff, I'm doing it directly from my phone. I don't see the end screen ad or don't add unless I'm on my desktop. So you want to look at your descriptions, your titles, and your thumbnails. Now, for my folks that are not SEO sensitive, have no idea about SEO, don't understand search engine optimization, and you don't know what to do with 100 characters, guess what? One, your title shouldn't be any longer than 40 to 50 characters. Two, you don't particularly need hashtags. You might. I'm going to tell you why you might. Because if you're starting your channel and the algorithm doesn't know where to put you yet, you need to let the system know this is the content that I'm talking about. Every video needs to have something in relation to that. How do you find your content's keywords? What you can do is allot YouTube to do a video. After you've done your video, look on the sidebar. It's a drop down that's going to say something about transcript. Get the transcript from that. Then I want you to drop it in ChatGPT, and you're looking for ChatGPT to format that into a blog post. And when it formats it into a blog post, ask it to put the keywords at the bottom of the post. Those keywords, you're going to drop back in your video. See how that works? See how that works? Pro tip. So, with that being said, I need you to figure out what do you want to do with this YouTube channel. What are you desiring to develop? What is it that you're interested in? How do you want it to align for the people that you're talking to? Is it for consumers? Is it for transformation? What is it that you like? What is it that you don't like? What are you talking about? What's your direction? You want to create a tree. Your tree is your main subject, meaning the industry you're talking about, and then your subtopics, which are going to be your branches off. And then your subtopics are going to be things that fall under each category that you're talking about. And you're going to sit down and you're going to figure that out about each thing that you're wanting to talk about. What's your core points? What's your central points of your niche? Then what's the subtopics of that niche? And you're going to figure out what stems off from that. And you're going to write it down. Then once you've determined that, what is it that you want to do with this channel? Do you want to just do regular shorts content? Do you want to do long form courses? Do you want to do podcast vlog style content? Do you want to do a program, meaning you're doing teaching and coaching for what it is that you're interested in doing, or maybe that's a later thing. You just want to get people in and interested. What's the lengthiness of your content and content length? Some people, I was listening to a good person to also follow when it comes down to finding out about YouTube is the Think channel, because he's always talking about what's new and improved on YouTube. I follow him all the time, Sean Cannell. And he's Christian. How are you promoting? What's your promotional usage? Are you promoting with a blog? Are you doing blogs in the community page? Are you doing podcasting where you're turning your podcast videos and linking them in a podcast list? Meaning you're calling, when you go into your back office, when you do your videos, you're going to create a list that is particularly set up for a podcast. You got to set the podcast list up separately to your channel, but you're going to go into podcast, create a playlist, and this is going to be your podcast. Anything you drop in that will be live on YouTube Music. So you need to make sure that what you post, and it'll pop up on YouTube TV if it's video. That's a good way to get yourself out there in multiple different places. But you need to determine what it is that you want to talk about. Are you vlogging? Meaning you're going to do vlogs. Airing on demand. If you want to see somebody do a vlogging set, a good person's videos to look at are airing on demand. Then there's her name is Kaya, but I forget what the name of her channel is. Let me see if I can find it on my other phone. Hold on. Create with Kaya. She's a Pinterest person. She does, especially for those of y'all that are looking to do Pinterest as your SEO to promote your video content. Go to Create with Kaya. She will show you how to do the Pinterest part. Now, with that being said, what are your standards? What's the standard you want to create with this channel that you are creating? What do you want? Do you want growth? What's your thought-provoking content? How are you inspiring? Do you want to make people passionate? What would be an enemy to your brand? Think about these things. When you are creating a YouTube channel, think about the marketing. Think about what you've seen other people do that you don't want to come into agreement with. Write that down. You want to be real. You want to be authentic. Do you want to be personable? You want to be able to have fun in the midst of your delivery. Think about all of these things. With that being said, I can go way deep in this, and I'm going to come back and do a shorter video where we're going to continue and complete this.